Welcome back everyone to Tuna's Versus. This is team number 6 now, I believe. I think we've done 5 already. We must have done because it's 3-2 to me. So if you haven't seen this series already, please do go give it a check out on the channel. The basics is we have 5 seasons in charge of a Premier League team. We don't play any of the matches. We do transfers, we set up a tactic, and then we holiday each season. We come back at the end of each season, see how we've done, and talk about the transfers we've made that season. Once we've done 5 seasons, we then go and simulate 5 seasons with the current manager in charge to see how we've done. Last time out was Everton. We did manage to win, I believe it was a Carabao Cup. It's been a while since I've recorded that. But regardless, we won a trophy. Lampard did not. Despite doing decent, he kept his job for 5 years. So that was what made it 3-2. So yeah, let's just go and find out who our next team is going to be. It's going to be Leicester. Just stopped on Leicester there. So Leicester will be our next team. I'm looking forward to this. They had a poor season last season. So what can we do? Let's go and take a look at our team, shall we? So we're here with Leicester City, the team, of course, famously in the 15-16 season, went from 5,000 to 1 odds to winning the Premier League. I think they captured so many of the country and potentially the world's hearts during that run. I certainly have a soft spot for them. I really like what they do as a club. Yes, it's been a bit hit and miss in real life. Don't forget I'm recording this with a database that was released on the 20th of July, so Schmeichel is still there. You can see he's still our captain on the screen right now. How much of that was Rodgers' choice? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a very well-run club. Of course, Community Shield winners last season. They won the FA Cup the season before as well. So they've started to pick up a few trophies every now and again. But these past couple of seasons have been very, hit and miss. But yeah, it is a team that I do have a soft spot for. The wonderful King Power Stadium. So yeah. I mean, we've mentioned Kasper Schmeichel as our captain, Johnny Evans is our vice captain, Tielemans is our key player, and Tawanda Maswan-Hayes, pronunciation perfect, our key player there. I mean, they are a very, very good team. Club vision, they want to be top half, quarterfinals of each cup, and become recognised as the best of the rest. So I would quite like to potentially end up maybe in the European places. I think that's where we should be, in the European places. So yeah, that is going to be pretty interesting to see. In terms of the team we've got here, we've got a pretty good squad. It's a pretty big squad, and we may have to trim this down a bit. But obviously, Jamie Vardy at 34 years old is still an absolute demon. Tielemans is our star man. Fofana is a wonderful centre-back. So much room to grow as well, at only 20 years old. Barnes and Maddison, Didi, very, very good young players. I do think they've got a very, very good squad here, and we won't have to do too much with them, which is good, because if I move me to there, you can see we've only got £10 million to spend, and about 50k in our wage budget. So I think people may have to leave if we do want to bring people in. But I'll be honest, I may not make any signings and just see how this squad goes in this first season. So let's go and play that transfer window and see if we do make any signings. So we've done our first transfer window. Not many incomings, but a few outgoings. If we just take a look, a few loanees. Jakub Stolitic, I believe it is. It's gone out on loan to Wickham. Hamza Chowdhury has gone out on loan to Ajax. Luke Thomas out on loan to Everton. Marcal Maduvia, I think, to Crewe. Maswen-Hayes, again, don't know how to pronounce his name, Tawanda, out on loan to Burton. Jose Pires has gone to Leeds on loan. Callum Wright to Middlesbrough. Shane Flynn to Lincoln. Dennis Pratt to Valencia. And Danny Ward to Bournemouth. A lot of these are either youth players going out to get experience or first team players that I didn't want. And in the case of people like Chowdhury, they have a fee to pay after 20 games. So, we've got things like that in there. Permanent outgoings, Daniel Iverson has gone out on loan to Club America. He's gone on permanent to Club America for £3.8 million. And Nampalys Mendy to Dinamo Moscow for £11.25 million. Again, just didn't have space to in my first team. First incoming is Robert Sanchez from Brighton, £22.5 million. I love this goalkeeper. Love this goalkeeper in real life, and I think he's going to be an absolute star in the game as well. 23 years old. He's a very, very good goalkeeper, and for £22.5 million from a league rival as well, I'm very, very happy with that. And finally, Edison Cavani on a free transfer. This man knows how to score goals. It's that simple. He knows how to score goals. So why not bring him in to play potentially alongside Jamie Vardy, or a wonderful backup? We've got an incredible squad depth at the striker position now. You've got Vardy, you've got Cavani, you've got Daki, you've got Iheanacho. It's very, very strong. Very, very strong. Free transfer, 2-year deal for him. In terms of the tactics we're going with, Sanchez is in goal. I want him to be playing every game possible. I love Kasper Schmeichel, but Sanchez is the future. Schmeichel is 34 years old now. So, yeah, we need him to be playing as much as possible and making every penny worth it that we spent on him. Because we're going with 4-2-3-1. This is a formation that I've used quite often now. But it just seems to work. These four very, very attacking players just seem to score goals. This playmaker, we may drop down to support depending on how things are going. Now, I should clarify, I haven't looked at the results yet, so I don't know how we're doing. Let's just go and take a look at that now, shall we? Not very well. We lost 2-1 to Manchester United on the opening day. Rashford and Ronaldo scoring, Harvey Barnes pulling one back, but yeah, we lost. Away from home at Old Trafford, you don't mind too much about that in the first season. Beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, but Vardy penalty and 2 from Harvey Barnes in this one, before a hat-trick from Cavani and 1 from Mark Albrighton gave us a 4-0 win over Hartlepool in the EFL Cup. But this is a game that we should have been winning. We lost 1-0 to Leeds. Evans sent off for a second yellow card. Rocker scoring in the same minutes. I don't know if that was a penalty, a free kick that he got sent off for, and Rocker scored from that. But yeah, it condemned us to a defeat, which leaves us 11th in the league, 1 win, 2 defeats at the moment. We are above the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal at the moment, but it's not an ideal start. I will be perfectly honest with that. So I think I will drop this down to support and just try and keep a little bit more depth in the back line. Obviously, once to get more familiar with this tactic as well, it will develop. But yeah, we definitely need to improve on that. The season preview has us in 8th place. I'd be happy with 8th this season. I would be happy with 8th this season. And maybe a semi-final. A final would be very, very nice. But 8th in a semi-final is what we're aiming for. Let's go and play this first season and see how things turn out. So we've come to the end of season number 1. Shall we find out how we've done? Let's click that competitions page. We have... Wow. Wow. I don't know how well you can see that because it's behind my camera. Let's move back down to the bottom. We won a competition. We won the Carabao Cup first season. Knocked out of the 5th round of the FA Cup. But 3rd place in the Premier League. Come on, Champions League football next season. Only 2 points behind Liverpool as well in 2nd place. 8 defeats according to Arsenal, City, Villa, Liverpool, Wolves. In fact, City did the double overs, Leeds and Manchester United. Draws against Wolves, West Ham, Tottenham, Chelsea, Southampton and Arsenal. West Ham also getting Champions League football for Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal all missing out. Tottenham and Arsenal missing out completely on European football. Let's go to the Carabao Cup. Let's take a look at the tree from the 2nd round. Of course, where we beat Hartlepool, we beat Brentford 1-0, we beat Blackburn 3-1, we beat Newcastle 3-1, we beat Liverpool 4-3, and then a 2-1 victory over Everton in the final. Gives us the first piece of silverware, and we were actually behind in this game. Should we go and watch the goals and see how it played out? So yes, at Wembley, it was Juricic with a free kick, and it was a lovely hit free kick. Clips the post on its way in. Nothing the goalkeeper could have done, but we went behind on the hour mark. Vardy into Iheanacho, turns Ricardo Pereira, Harvey Barnes kills one in. Or the Harvey Barnes, it's an equaliser memes.
And now Harvey Barnes. Oh, it's an equaliser. Harvey Barnes. Get in.
There for you. Pickford gives the ball away to Vardy, into Iheanacho, pulls it back across, and Maddison slams home in the 94th minute of the game to give us the first bit of silverware. We were not very well. We didn't play very well in this final at all, but we've lifted it regardless. A wonderful performance from us. FA Cup was won by Manchester City in the third round. We beat Bristol City 4-0. And then the fourth round we beat Blackpool 2-0. The fifth round was where we went out to West Ham 1-0. So, I mean, it's a decent run in that as well. But yeah, league-wise, third place, absolutely sublime from us. Let's take a look at the players. Sanchez playing 48 games. He played every game possible for us this season. Harvey Barnes only missing out on one. Goals-wise, I mean, this is why we played this tactic. Cavani on 19, Vardy on 18, Barnes on 17, Daka getting 9 as well, Maddison with 7, one of them being that crucial winner in the final. Iheanacho with 7, Siunchu also getting 5. Let's just hide not at club so we don't get mixed up with them. You can see it's a small squad. Assist-wise, nobody double figures, but 3 on 9. Vardy, Barnes and Tielemans all getting 9 assists this season. He's been a wonderful season. An absolutely wonderful season. We drew 3-3 with Arsenal. Let's just pick out some standout results. We beat Tottenham 3-0 and had Vardy sent off in this one as well. 2-2 with Chelsea. We beat Liverpool 1-0 at Anfield as well. Harvey Barnes getting the only goal in this game. Before that 3-1 defeat to Manchester City. Castagna getting sent off for us. Back-to-back 4-0s, including we went 3-0 down to Liverpool in the first leg at Anfield. And then we beat them 4-0 at home. What a turnaround. It went to extra time as well. Daka in the 113th minute. Win over Chelsea. Draws with Tottenham. Big win over Nottingham Forest. Both teams getting a man sent off in this one as well. 4-1 there. 3-1 over Manchester United at home as well. A Vardy hat-trick. And a little bit poor to end the season. Perhaps that did cost us second place. But we don't care. We're in the Champions League. And we've been given £43 million to spend to help strengthen the squad. A few players will be coming back off loan. We'll see how they developed. I think we've got a decent squad, but we do need to add some squad depth. So, I'm going to go play this all-important transfer window, see what we can do in our second season. So, second transfer window has been done. Plenty of money coming in and out of the club. First of all, let's talk about the outgoings. Youri Tielemans has gone to Bayern Munich for £31 million. Now, he'd made it clear he was leaving on a free transfer at the end of his contract. He had 1 year left, so we've cashed in on him now and got the £31 million for him. Daniel Amati also went to Monaco for £12.75 million. He just wasn't really being used for me. He's a good player, but he's in his prime now. But yeah, he just wasn't really being used for me, so we've let him go. Ayoze Perez gone to Leeds for £8.75 million, and Yannick Vestergaard to Brentford for £4.6 million. Neither of these really had a future at the club anyway, so we were happy to bring in some decent money for them. Brad Young, Joshua Paya have both gone out on pretty cheap deals, and Danny Wood and Chitoro Adunze have gone out on frees. Dennis Prayer and Marcel Meduvia have gone out on loan. Now, incoming wise, we started off with Facundo Torres from Orlando City. Again, we've seen him pretty regular in this series, and the Uruguayan striker can play anywhere across that front line. He's a wonderful little player. So he comes in as a squad player for the moment. We'll give him a chance to develop a little bit. Playing behind this man, James Rodriguez from Al Rayyan for £11 million. He returns to the Premier League after his stint here with Everton. I mean, obviously everyone knows his quality and just how good he is. And for a 31-year-old, he is still absolutely incredible. And I think he's going to do a wonderful job for us as well. Renan Lodi from Atletico Madrid, £18 million. Left back, can play pretty much anywhere along that left wing, but he is going to be our main left back this season. Again, very, very solid in that position, and 24 years old, so room for him to grow as well. And then the tale of two Alvarezes. Edson Alvarez from Ajax for £22 million, potentially rising to 23.5. Centre back or holding midfielder, the 24-year-old Mexican, 6'1", pretty solid all around as well. He's a very good player for this level, and he's only going to grow, in my opinion, and get even better. He's currently away on international duty. And then the next one is a player we've signed so many times in this series already, but yeah, I just love him. Absolutely love him to pieces. Gutted when he went to City in real life. Julian Alvarez has joined us on loan from City, £1.4 million over the year. We all know how good he actually is, and how many goals he scores. So I'm looking forward to that. Tactically, nothing really has changed. Sanchez is going to continue in goal, but apart from that, I'm letting the assistant manager pick everything, but we're sticking with the goals tactic from last season. This could be the first time that I don't actually change the tactic all the way through. I think we've got the players here to really make this tactic work. So it's going to be interesting to see how it gets on. In terms of the games that we played so far, we started off against Chelsea on the opening day, away from home at Stamford Bridge, and we beat them 2-1. Reece James put them ahead. Julian Alvarez and Edson Cavani gave us the victory. Cavani signed a new deal as well to keep him here for even longer. What a performance this is on the opening day, away at Stamford Bridge. Is such a huge result. And then we beat Burnley 3-2 as well. Alvarez, Cavani and Samari scoring late on. Alvarez put us 1-0 ahead. Tonzabi and Cornet made it 2-1, and you can see the 92nd and the 94th minute to give us all 3 points. Leicester leaving it late once again, but we get the victory here. And then a pretty disappointing result against Leeds, 1-1 draw. Dan James putting them ahead, but Cavani scoring to equalise and gives a point each. For a 1-0 defeat to Tottenham, Harry Kane with a penalty. Cavani actually missed the penalty in this one as well. So it's a little bit disappointing to have dropped points in them last two games after the start we've had. But we're sat in 5th place at the moment, a pretty decent start, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on this season. Season preview has us in 8th place. The board want, I believe, top half again. Yeah, so they want top half. FA Cup quarterfinals, not important for the FA Cup, and be competitive in the Champions League, because of course we are in the Champions League this year, and we'll be drawn a pretty tough group, really. Juventus, Ajax and Villarreal. I do think we might be good enough to qualify in 2nd place in this group, but it's a very tough group. I mean, let's just go and simulate this season and see how everything turns out, shall we? So the end of season number 2 is here. Shall we see how we've got on? We have dropped off quite a bit in the league. 8th place, 58 points, 14 defeats this time around. That's a lot. Doubles, overs by City, Liverpool, Manchester United. Yeah, it's not great, but a tough draw in the Carabao Cup. We got knocked out by Man City. 5th round of the FA Cup to Southampton, and 1st knockout round by Real Madrid. So let's just go through these in order of worst to best, shall we? So obviously we entered at the 3rd round because we're in Europe. We actually lost on penalties, 3-3. Maddison put us ahead. Haaland, Palmer equalised, put them 2-1 ahead. Cavani equalised. Rodriguez scored in the 84th minute, and then Gomez in the 86th minute to give them the point. Before then, we had to. Is that Andy Robertson? They signed Alex Robertson. I was going to say, if they signed Andy Robertson from Liverpool. Pereira missing the penalty for us. City scoring all of theirs, losing 5-4 there. But it ended up being won by Leeds, beating West Ham in the final. So Man City actually got knocked out by Tottenham. Interesting. Okay, FA Cup was won by Arsenal on penalties over Liverpool. 3rd round we beat Charlton 2-0. 4th round was a 3-2 victory over Reading, and then the 5th round's an extra time 2-1 defeat to Southampton. So, I mean, we're pushing them all the way. Teller put them ahead. Vardy in the 84th minute equalisers before Linkau in the 114th minute gave them the victory. Champions League. final is yet to be played. How did we do in the groups? We actually did finish second. We lost both games against Juventus. We drew one with Villarreal, but beat them the other one and beat Ajax in both games as well to qualify with 10 points. Just looking, I mean, it had been a tough draw, really, whoever we got. But we ended up losing 8-3 on aggregate, 3-2 after the first leg, 5-1 in the second leg. Yeah, that was rough, really. So let's just take a look at some of the schedule page. Defeat against Everton there is very disappointing. Defeat against Southampton, Arsenal. I mean, this was just such a poor run, really. Just a 1 win in 5 Premier League games, 6 Premier League games, 1 win in 8 Premier League games. Is really probably what cost us European football next season. Nice win over Chelsea there again, so we did a double over them. But then 3 draws out of 4 to end the season as well is a bit disappointing. In terms of the players, Sanchez playing all 50 games possible. Cavani scoring 20, Vardy scoring 10, Alvarez scoring 10 as well. So plenty of goals coming from them too. Again, the 236-year-olds still scoring the goals for us. Assist-wise, 18 for James Rodriguez, 10 for Alvarez, 7 for James but Justin as well. So, yeah. I don't know what to make of that season. We have been given 64 million to spend for next season. And I've just seen if we've got anyone wanted. Facundo Torres is wanted by Palace. He did play 42 games, but 30 of them off the bench. Luke Thomas is wanted on loan for Wolves as well. Edson Alvarez wanted by Atletico Madrid, and Renan Lodi is wanted by Bayern Munich. So there could be some big offers coming in over the summer. I'm a little bit disappointed with how the season went, but we've got no European football next season, so less games. Let's go and build on that and see what we can do in this open transfer window. So the third transfer window has been done, and we've sold a couple of players, brought in a lot as well. Cartel Dawkins, Freddie Cook both left on free transfers. First of all, joining us on loan from Chelsea for £2 million over the year with a £41.5 million potential buyout clause. It's Forster Ongerin. We know how good he can be. Him and Alvarez, that combination is quite possibly my favourite in Football Manager at the moment. I just love these two together. We've brought him in. He needs to develop as we know he can, but hopefully he's going to be a star player for us. And then we've shored up the defence a little bit with the addition of Dan Axel Zagadou from Borussia Mönchengladbach, £32.5 million. Yes, he's expensive, but he's a solid defender. 6'5" as well. He's not going to be beaten very well in the air. 24 years old. He's only going to get better. And then a few more free players going on out of the club. Then we've made Julian Alvarez transfer a permanent one, the loan, £8.25 million. This is an absolute steal for us. And finally, Nathan Baxter has joined us on a free after being released by Chelsea. Kasper Schmeichel has retired, so he's just coming as a little cheap backup goalkeeper. I don't expect he's going to be needed at any point. So yeah, he has joined us. In terms of the positions and the team, again, no changes to the formation. We actually can remove Sanchez now, because I didn't want Schmeichel playing ahead of him, knowing that Schmeichel's going to be retiring shortly, but Sanchez will be starting ahead of Baxter anytime he's fit anyway. Daka is going to be the main striker though, with Cavani and Vardy both being 36 years old. We're going to start Daka as much as possible, and it's paid off in the games that we've played so far. We started off against Brighton. It was a 2-0 victory. James Rodriguez and Jamie Vardy scoring for us to kick us off with a perfect start. And then we beat Crystal Palace 5-2 with Patson Daka getting 4 of them. This is why he's starting. Maddison scoring a penalty as well. Diangana and Mateta scoring for Palace, but what a performance that is from Daka. And he had his 5th of the season in 3 games against West Brom to round off a 4-3 victory, 2 from Barnes, 1 from Soyuncu, and obviously Daka scoring. Dyke, and a goal from Soyuncu, and Ibrahima Colley scoring for West Brom. A bit of a worry that we conceded 3 against these, but a perfect start so far for us. And it leaves us second in a table, 5 teams on a 100% record so far. Plenty to play for, but if Daka keeps going like he has done very early on, we're going to be in a wonderful place. Tough draw in the EFL Cup third round against Manchester United. We haven't played any of the bigger guys yet. So let's just go and see how this season does. So our third season here at Leicester is completed. Let's go to competition, see how we did. We finished 5th in the league, 69 points, nice. 3 points behind Arsenal and Man City. Liverpool winning the league. 18 points ahead of us. Quarterfinals of both competitions though as well. Carabao Cup quarterfinals defeat to Sheffield United is a little bit disappointing. The second round, obviously, we saw we beat West Brom 4-3. The third round we beat Manchester United 1-0, with the fourth round a 4-3 victory over Man City, before a 4-3 defeat to Sheffield United in the quarterfinals. 4-3s are obviously our forte in this competition. Southampton played Arsenal in the final, where Southampton won. The FA Cup quarterfinal defeat to eventual champions Liverpool. I'm fine with that. We beat Wolves 2-1 in the third round. Went to a replay and penalties to beat Crystal Palace after a 3-3 draw in the replay. 6-1 win over Arsenal. Wow, what a statement that was. Before a 3-2 defeat to Liverpool in the quarterfinals. And 9 draws this time, 9 defeats. We just need to cut out some of them draws, turn them into wins. But it's an improvement, and that's what it's all about. We got beaten both games by Norwich. That's something we need to fix for next season. So if we just take a look, did we have any other standard? Another 4-3 there as well. It really was our result of the season, wasn't it? We love our 4-3s. 5-1 over Everton, 6-1 over Arsenal in back-to-back games is nice. But then this end of the season has probably cost us Champions League football. Yes, it's a tough run of games, but we've got to be picking up more than 1 point from that. We really do, if we want to be in the Champions League. We do have Europa League next up, next season, which I think we should be doing pretty well in. Appearance-wise, Sanchez in 47, Daka in 47. That was every game possible, because you can see Baxter didn't play in any at all. And Daka gets 23 goals, Barnes with 15, Alvarez with 13, Maddison with 11. Angerin only actually played 9 games with 1 goal there. Assist-wise, James Rodriguez, the only one in double figures, with 14. But it's an improvement. It really is an improvement. Next season, we've got £66.5 million to spend. How much more work the squad needs to do, I'm not quite sure. Maybe just, we're starting to get a few players over the age of 30, so maybe we need to focus a little bit on that. But yeah, we will go and play this transfer window and see if we can get Champions League football again next season. So we're about to head into our 4th season, and we've done our transfer window, and yeah, plenty of outgoings. Dennis Prout leaves on a free to Dinamo Kiev, along with Facundo Torres, who goes to the same team for £21 million. He wasn't particularly playing. We've made £8 million profit. I'm happy with that. Zach Booth's gone on a free to Indy 11. Boubakary Samore has gone to Ajax for £12 million. Again, wasn't really playing. Nice to get some good money from him. Timothy Castagne has gone to West Ham for £24 million. He was a crucial backup, but he was just at a backup and he wanted to be playing first team football. So, yeah, £24 million, we'll let him go for that. Now, I don't think we haven't made any signings. It's, again, just before the season ticked over. Nathan Baxter also left. Obviously, the goalkeeper that we picked up on a free was sold him for £5.5 million to Aston Villa. Shane Flynn and Markel Maduvier also going out on loan. Also, towards the end of last season, you can see a few more outgoings as well. Hamza Chowdhury, £7.75 million to Burnley. Ricardo Pereira to Sheffield United for £27.5 million. And Kelechi Iheanacho to Leeds for £21 million. All crucial backups, but I think we've replaced them pretty well between the first team and, the youth players that we're bringing through. So I was happy to let them leave for plenty of money as well. But we have brought some incomings. First of all, Juan Martin Rios from River Plate for £3.4 million. He is a left back. He's going to come in as a backup, replacing basically Castagne in terms of that squad depth, and one for the future of this club. Next up was Brian Gill from Tottenham for £32 million, rising to £33.5 million. he just adds again a little bit more depth for us and a bit of quality as well, and just continues, with this intake of young players. The next one is an absolute incredible transfer, in my opinion. Ansu Fati from Barcelona for £55 million. He was on the transfer list by request there. Don't know why, but he was transfer listed, so we've had him. Incredible young player, only 21 years old as well. And look at these attributes. What a player he is. Offer Feet, I think is how you pronounce it, from Bologna for £39.5 million. Centre back or left back, again, just a little bit of depth and youth as well to the team. And finally, Hubert Idzak. Hubert from Napoli, £54,000. He's not fantastic, but he's cheap. And he's a backup keeper, or he will be if he actually got a work permit, which he has not. But we will keep trying just to bring him in for, like I say, a bit of squad depth. But Jakub Stolisic has been called up to the first team to be Sanchez's backup, basically. So, yeah, not too much in the way of transfers this time around, but plenty of outgoings. The squad is just as big because of the players that we've brought up. Like just move him to the under-23s for not having a work permit. But yeah, we've still got a decent squad, and you can see we've actually basically filling in the entire front line this time. We want Barnes on the right, Alvarez for the centre, Fati on the left, and Daka up top. I want these to be playing in these positions. That is the plan. People like Maddison, we're probably going to be missing out a fair bit. James Rodriguez, but this is what I want, so that's what I've done basically. Premier League wise, so we've actually played some games. You can see there, a bit spoiler. We got thumped on the opening day, 6-2 by Liverpool. Nunez with a hat trick, Yuri Alberto with 1, and Jota with 2. We were 4-0 down before we scored any goals, with Feet and Alvarez scoring. But we bounced back against Leeds 4-0, 2 from Barnes, 1 from Fofana and 1 from Fati. And then a 3-1 victory over Everton, 2 from Alvarez and 1 from Brian Gill. Sees us in 7th place. Yeah, it was a rough start with that game against Liverpool, but we have bounced back. The media think we're going to be 8th place once again, and the board want top half once again. But the quarterfinals of the Europa League, quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and they don't care about the EFL Cup. Europa League, yeah, Napoli, Astana and Banik Ostrava. I think we're definitely good enough to get out of this group. Whether it's top or second remains to be seen, but I like to think we would definitely get out of this group and make a run in this competition. Let's just go and find out how it goes. So the end of another season is here. This is 4 down now. Let's take a look how things finished. I don't think that's a good season. Being perfectly honest with you, I don't think that's a good season. 7th place in the league, 10 points off 4th place West Ham. 2nd knockout round of the Europa League defeat to Athletic Club. 3rd round of the FA Cup. Semi-finals of the Carabao Cup is decent, but to lose to Everton, I still think we should be beating them. We lost 6-1 to Napoli on the opening day of the Europa League. That is not great. 9-1 over Astana though. 6-0 over Banik Ostrava there. We drew with Napoli that time around, so I assume Napoli finished top of the group. But such a poor January. 2-2 in the first leg. We lost 3-1 in the second leg. Went to a replay against Wolves as well. We beat Villarreal, and then we lost 5-1 in the away leg. It's just not good enough, really, is it? It's not good enough, really. Appearance-wise, 55 from Barnes, Alvarez and Sanchez. Ansu Fati getting 54. Daka only 47. Does that mean he picked up an injury? He has had an injury. He pulled a hamstring and a groin and twisted his ankle. And yeah, okay, he's been very injury prone this season. Which is a bit of a worry as well, really. But he still did manage 22 goals, as did Ansu Fati as well. 13 from Barnes, 12 from Maddison, 11 from Richards and Alvarez as well. With 15 assists from Barnes, 14 from James Rodriguez and 12 from Alvarez. So in terms of like the statistics, we've done decent, but just the results haven't quite been there for us. We do have the Europa Conference League next season and £69 million to spend. We need to just go and add a touch of real quality, I think, to this squad. So I'm going to go see if I can find it. So our final transfer window has been done. Have we done enough to get us back into them Champions League places? Let's find out. The only permanent outgoing was Sean Marcel, who was a young player, £11.75 thousand. The rest of them are all loans. You can see there, Maurice Wayne, Ingram, Manders, Stolizark and Ben Castle, all going out on loans. Incoming wise, the most expensive one that we brought in was David Affengruber from Ajax, £55 million. This guy's a centre back, can play defensive mid or centre mid if need be. This season, we've gone to strengthen up our defence as much as possible. So we brought him in 56 games for Ajax. Hopefully, he has the experience to help us take it to the next level. Pedro Perez next from Guimarães for £12 million. He's a right back, an 18-year-old right back. Maybe not going to do too much this season, but a little bit more squad depth and one that is going to be fantastic for the future as well. Because don't forget, I've got to treat this as if I'm staying at the club for as long as possible, not just the 5 seasons. So we brought him in. Alejandro Frances from Real Zaragoza, £10.5 million. Again, completely across that back line. 23-year-old, just that squad depth. And I like versatility. That does help an awful lot. Joshua Kitonolo from Sparta Rotterdam, £8.25 million. He's more an advanced player, centre mid, can play holding mid, or if need be, across that line just behind the striker, but mainly a central midfielder. Again, just adds a bit more depth to the squad. And Kevin Manders from Fortuna Sittard for £3.9 million, 18-year-old right back or left back, again one for the future. So yeah, hopefully he's going to be good enough to help us get there. No change once again to the tactic. We stayed this one the entire 5 seasons for the first time during this series, but this time we're not putting anybody into the team. We're letting the assistant manager do it all. And we have played some games already. We beat Brentford on the opening day 2-1. Feet and Barnes scoring for us. Tony putting one back from Brentford, but enough to get us all 3 points. Then we had our qualifiers for the Europa Conference League. We beat Guimarães 3-1 in the first leg and 3-1 in the second leg. Ndidi, Alvarez and Daka scoring in the first one. In the second one was Madison, Alvarez and Ansu Fati. In between that was a 2-0 victory over West Ham. Alvarez and Ndidi scored in this one. And then we finished the month off with a 2-1 defeat to Southampton. Alvarez scoring for us. Pizzella and Alfie Devine scoring for Southampton, which leaves us in 6th place early on. The season preview has us in 9th place this season, so the board think either we got worse or teams around us have strengthened more than us. The board want top half. They want the final of the Europa Conference League. We've only won 1 competition so far. Let's go and win another one. So, the final season has been completed. Let's take a look how things have gone. Okay. We have won a competition. 6th place in the Premier League, 62 points. A fair distance off the top 4, which Newcastle have broken into now as well. But we've won the Europa Conference League, knocked out in the 5th round by Leeds, the FA Cup, and the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup by Newcastle. It was a 1-0 defeat to Newcastle. Goncalves scoring there. We beat Hajduk Split 5-2. Of course, we didn't look at our Europa Conference League group, but it was Hajduk Split, Hibernian and Feyenoord. And we won 5, drew 1 there, and it was very late on this game. Fati 60th minute, Alvarez made it 2-0 in the 91st minute. Laka pulled one back in the 93rd minute and 95th minute. Between equalised. FA Cup 3rd round beat Eastleigh 5-1, a nice comfortable victory for us there. 3-2 over Norwich in the 4th round, then we lost 3-1 to Leeds in the 5th round. The second knockout round of the Europa Conference League, we played Apoel and Scotia. We beat them, 11-1 on aggregate, 8-0 at home. That shows we in business. Marseille was then next up. We beat them 8-2 on aggregate, both of them 4-1. Hat-trick from Daka in the first one and 2 in the second one. Semi-final was against Sporting Braga, and it was 3-1 on aggregate, 2-1 away from home, 1-0 at home, and then in the final we beat AC Milan on penalties. Wow, okay, that's a big team. to be in this competition that we have beat. Sentio put them 1-0 up. Ansu Fati equalised, and then the penalties, Raspadori missed the only penalty, giving us the victory. Let's take a look at the goal, shall we? Because, you know, it's our second competition that we've won during this save. So, it's not going to be the toughest for Brendan Rodgers to beat, but I feel quietly confident about it also. It's essentially a free kick, and it's a lovely free kick as well, that is, to give them the lead. And then corner headed clear, Gruber to Fofana, gets it back, clips on over for Fati, first time volley, into that bottom corner for 1 apiece. And we're going to see the penalty. We are Alvarez straight down the middle for us. Sentio, lovely penalty, bottom corner. Then Ansu Fati scored in the game into that same bottom corner. Raspadori, it was hit off the post. Didn't know if he'd save, but no, he hit the post. And that was the crucial penalty that I had missed. And won us the Europa Conference League. So a bit of European silverware to the club. And I'm pretty sure Leicester fans would be happy about that. I really do think they'd be happy about that. So, yeah, I mean, relatively successful for us. We had a third place, obviously, in the Premier League. We won the Europa Conference League, and we won the Carabao Cup as well. So 2 trophies there. How did the players perform this season? 57 appearances from Sanchez. This time around, 56 from Ansu Fati as well. Plenty of games being played. 29 goals from Patson Daka, 20 for Fati, 18 for Alvarez, 13 for Barnes, and 10 for Maddison. 5 players in double figures. You love to see that. And 5 players in double figures for assists as well. Alvarez topping the bunch with 21. James Justin coming in with 13. And Kiernan Dewsbury Hall as well with 10. It's taken a little while for him to get going, but this has probably been his best season in a Leicester shirt. I'm pretty happy with how things went. If we were to have played on, we would have been given £67 million to spend. But we know what to do now. We're going to give Brendan Rodgers 5 years to see what he can do. So 5 years has been simulated. Let's go and see how Brendan Rodgers has got on with Leicester City, shall we? So if we just go to the Premier League, and this season they've just finished in 10th place. So let's just take a look at his schedule over the years. So first year knocked out of the EFL Cup in the second round to Barnsley. Made it through the FA Cup 5th round defeat to Arsenal, so poor season really for them. Did make the Europa League the year after, though, knocked out in the 3rd round to Man City, the EFL Cup. Europa League won every group game. Lost in the 4th round of the FA Cup, 3-2 to Fulham. Went through against Leipzig in the second knockout round, which was only 1 leg. Actually beat Dortmund as well in the quarterfinals before losing to Tottenham in the semi-finals, so a bit better in the cup competitions then. Again, an EFL Cup 2nd round knockout, which means no Europe for them. FA Cup, they made it to the 5th round. Season before last. EFL Cup 4th round defeat to Everton. FA Cup 3rd round knockout to Newcastle. And season just done, they're in the Europa Conference League. Lost in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup to Tottenham. FA Cup, they were still going here. Conference League, they beat Fiorentina in the 2nd round. Lost in the FA Cup quarterfinals to Palace. Before winning the Europa Conference League, they beat Sporting 2-1 in the finals. They have won a competition. Eze and Gnotto scoring for them. But I'm still 1 ahead of them. So the question is, how have they done in the league? They basically have to win the league title. 5th the first season. Down to 11th the second season, 8th, 7th, and 10th. So yeah, actually, how did they get? Oh yeah, it's Conference League, not Champions League. That's why. So yeah, Brendan Rodgers only winning that Conference League. I won the Carabao Cup as well. It's not the best trophy in the world, but it does mean I beat Brendan. Let's just take a look at his transfers, shall we? So first season in, Donny van der Beek was his most expensive transfer. 32 million, rising to 38.5. He also brought in Suso, Vitolo, Ganotto, and James Milner as well. Selling Ozzy Perez, Casey McAteer, Brad Young, Will Ross, and Kanya Leshebela. So some interesting transfers in there. The second season saw him bringing in Thorgan Hazard from Dortmund for 33 million, Jussi Gay from PSG for 22.5, Warren Bondo, Niall Umarov, and Daniel Rugani. Selling wise, Yuri Tielemans went to Inter for £45.5 million. Vestergaard to Ajax, Dennis Praet to Porto, Nampalys Mendy to Napoli, Ryan Bertrand to Burnley. So I think they're doing some pretty decent transfers, to be fair to them. This season, Richarlison came in from Tottenham. Ben Davies, 9 million in a part exchange. Who went out? Marcel Meduvia went out. Interesting. Very interesting. Julian Draxler from PSG came in, and Wendell from Bayern also came in for a total of 82 million in. And he sold Harvey Barnes to Chelsea for £62 million. It's a huge chunk of money, that is. Albrighton, Samare, Chowdhury, and Booth also leaving. James Milner left on a free transfer. Then the 24-25 season, their most expensive incoming was Orkun Kaku from Feyenoord, 25 million. Followed by Moise Keane from Juventus, 24.5 million. Hans Wolf, Kang-In Lee, Mario Hermoso, Jan Sommer, Ivica Usyk, Jean-Baptiste Gorby, Jack Bonham, Mitch Westret, and Stefan Savic on a free transfer. Out goes James Maddison, went to Manchester United for 74 million. Castagna for 29 million to Lazio. 28 million for Kelechi Iheanacho. Some big names leaving this summer. Sousa leaving after he was one of Brendan Rodgers' early signings. Regani leaving. Idrissa Gueye leaving. So they've made some money on players. They really have. A lot of income in that season as well. James Maddison will be tough to replace. And then the season just gone, they bought Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Reece Nelson, and Ebrisi Eze on loan, actually, who obviously scored in that cup final, so that paid off. Selling Kang-In Lee, Ricardo Pereira, Torgan Hazard, and Mawantai. So, yeah, interesting approach from Brendan Rodgers, but it does mean we do win, and that makes it 4-2 towards. We're getting a little bit of a lead. If you have enjoyed this, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here as well. And come back next Wednesday to find out who our next team is going to be. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.